Okay, so sometimes we just want to make sure we have the permissions and we can't really look at the IAM policies for whatever reason. We actually don't want to run the command, we just want to make sure we have the permissions. And some SQLite commands, such as the EC2 commands, they can become quite expensive if they succeed because, say, we wanted to create an EC2 instance and we actually create it. We just wanted to try whether or not it worked. So these commands, but not all commands, may contain a ---- dry run option. And that option is to simulate API calls. If you don't have the permissions, you'll get a denied exception and then but if you have the permissions, you will just not run the command. So let's go ahead and practice this. So let's say we want to see whether or not our EC2 instance with this IAM role can create other EC2 instances. That'd be something fun to test, right? But we actually don't want to create another EC2 instance. We just want to make sure that it can create EC2 instances. So let's have a look and look at the command. So for this, it's called AWS EC2 run instances. And as you can see, I'm running this command straight from my EC2 instance. I'll make sure to run help because I want to get help with this command. And this command is quite a long one. You can read the whole documentation. It's also available online. But for this, I'll make it super simple for you. We're going to need a few parameters and we'll also add the dry run parameter just to test the command. So let's do the dry run. And this is the first thing I'm going to specify because I want to make sure that whatever I do next, it is going to be a dry run. Now we have to specify an image ID. An image ID is basically the AMI ID. And for this, we can just go to our EC2 instance, click on the AMI ID that's already running, and we can get the AMI ID all the way from here. We'll copy this whole thing and paste it right here. The next thing we have to do is to specify the instance type. And for the instance type, I will choose a T2 micro. Now this looks all right. This is enough to run this command. So I'll just click on enter. And we get a error occurred unauthorized operation. So we are not authorized to perform this operation. And that's because we set up the dry run command. And so basically using this dry run, you're able to test whether or not you have the authorizations to do things. Now let's make something fun and give ourselves the right to run instances. So I'll go back to IAM. I'll attach the policy that was managed from us from before. So let me just find it. It is right here. I'll attach it and I will go and edit this policy. So I'll go to policies and right here, I'll click on it and I will edit this policy. And using the visual editor, I will add additional permissions. I'll choose a service that will be EC2. So let's scroll down. EC2 is right here. Now we need to specify the permission. So if we go back to this command, we can see that the thing it tried to run is called run instances. So let's go to write because it is a write action. And if we scroll down, we can see that the run instances is right here. Let's go back up to roll this whole menu. So now we have the write instance. One is selected. And as you can see, I only chose the one operation I need to do. I did not overprivilege my EC2 instance. Okay, giving roles their minimum privilege they need to run is key. Now for the resources, it says you chose action that require the image resource type, etc., etc. To make it very simple, I will just say all resources and it will have a star right here. Now I can review the policy. And as you can see now, I have my EC2 that has limited write access for all resources. Save the changes. And we can also look at the JSON document. And as we can see now, we get an allow on EC2 run instances for all resources. So my policy has been applied. And now if I go back to my EC2 console from my EC2 machine and try to run this command, this time I get an error called a dry run operation. And it says request would have succeeded, but the dry run flag is set. So that's perfect. Here from this dry run operation, we ensured that we had the rights to perform a run instance operation, but it actually didn't succeed because I have set up the dry run flag. And so we get this dry run operation exception. And so that's good. This is how we test our API calls for some API calls that support the dry run flag. As you can see, if they're denied, we get the unauthorized operation. If they're allowed, we get the dry run operation. But in no cases was this new instance being run. So that's helpful. So this is all for this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to try to understand what the hell this error message means. So see you in the next lecture.